Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Don't go into business with a fear of failure. Don't go into business with it. Now, yes, you do have plenty of businesses that fail and you don't want to fail. And let's just be real. A lot of people will get into a business and they're going to fail. A lot of businesses fail. There's a whole lot of businesses out there that do fail. But here's the key. You can't go into it thinking, oh, I'm going to fail. Because if you go into business with a fear of failure, guess what? You're going to fail. If you're already thinking no matter what you're doing, or you're not going to do well or something, you are creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, this ain't saying you won't fail. This won't say you won't make mistakes. In fact, I said before, and I'll say this again. And for any business, you want to take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. You don't want to expand too much. You want to learn. You want to figure out any mistakes. And trust me, stuff will come up that you're not thinking about when you first start that business, no matter how much education you get about that business or anything. And it's always a possibility. It's always a possibility. You might start off in just the wrong neighborhood if you're a brick and mortar business. Or something, you might be dependent on a business. You might start some business and it's dependent on people working at this particular place. Like, let me give you an example. Years ago in Crystal City, Virginia, I wanted to start a business. I wanted to start a book kiosk. Now, I wasn't able to because there was a bookstore already there and everything. But what if I had? And I was doing well. I would have did well. But there came a point where they no longer had the military there. They no longer had people in that particular building. Oh yeah, I would have failed, but I wouldn't have went into it with the fear of failure. I don't care what it is, whatever you want to do, you always want to think, oh, I'm going to win at this. Now, in order to win at it, of course, you do have to get educated. You have to know what you're doing. You have to think about what I talked about in my last episode about thinking about solving a problem. You want to do all of that. You want to take care of all of that. But you cannot go in thinking, oh, I'm going to fail or I have a fear of failure. You might as well not even waste time getting into that business. You might as well, because like I said, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because if you have the mindset that you're going to fail, you're going to do stuff to fail. Let me say that again. If you have the mindset that your business is going to fail, you're going to do the stuff subconsciously to fail. You might not do as good a job if you're providing a service. You might not have the products that you have to make or sell or do as good a job selling. You're going to create it. And you're going to, of course, think it's everybody else, but it might be you. You might not be providing good customer service. You're going to do something. If you already think you're going to fail, it's going to happen. And I've actually seen that happen with some businesses. They go in thinking, oh, I'm already going to lose. I ain't going to do that. Like I knew someone who, back when selling houses was a big thing, but they always had a losing mindset. They didn't really do well with it. It was enough for them to get the house off their hands. But they could have did a whole lot more if they had the right attitude. You cannot go into anything, I don't care, anything with making money. Yeah, you know what? It's not even business. You can't go on a job thinking you're going to fail at that job. You can't think about it. Like I'll use the example when I started working at a major retail place. I didn't know anything about the job. It was started off part-time. I didn't think I would fail at it. I went in thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna do well. In fact, I did extra well. That was the job I had mentioned a few times that I was only on minimum wage for 2 weeks because I came in there, even though I had no experience doing this. In fact, I thought I would be doing menial work. I was going in there because I wanted extra money. But I went in there and just went in doing the best that I could. And I always joke about having 1,000 jobs. On the many jobs I went in like, okay, I'm going to do well. because I was trying to make money. I was trying to make money, no matter what it was. I remember the first time I worked at a gym. They were training me. The guys training me. They made sure they made sure I knew what to say and everything, and I went for it. I didn't complain or anything. I didn't think I would fail. I would never. That's one thing on my 1,000 jobs. I never thought of failure. I don't care what you do. I don't care what it is. Never jump into anything. In fact, I would say this. If you have a fear of failure, don't even bother with the job. Because you're going to. If you go in there thinking you're going to fail. Now, of course, you still want to go in there. You want to do your due diligence. You want to take care. You want to learn everything you have to learn and do everything well. But if you go in there in the back of your mind thinking, oh, I'm going to fail at this. Well, guess what? You're going to fail. Now, you could still fail at it. You could still go in knowing everything, doing your due diligence. You could still fail, but I would call that failure a learning experience. There's been plenty of people who started a business and yeah, they will fail or something, but then they will learn what mistakes they made and learn from the mistakes and start that business even better. It could be something as simple as moving to another location. And they will say, no, okay, I ain't doing well at this location. I'm not getting the foot traffic. I'm not paying attention to this stuff. I'm not mailing out stuff quick enough. Okay, let me change that. Because what you want to do is go into a business and think in terms of you going to make it. You're going to make it. And even if you don't make it, okay, learn from it. Learn from it. So, or you might just say, you could say there's some people got into a business and they really weren't interested in it, or they didn't like a lot of little things. Okay, fine. But don't start off thinking you're going to fail at that business. Seriously, do not think that. Do not start off that way. Every business you go in, you're thinking, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to do well. I'm going to learn the things I have to learn. Now, several factors could come in on why the business might not do well. Like I said, location and everything. Okay, learn from why it did fail. But don't start off thinking that way. If you start off thinking that way, I guarantee you will fail at it. You don't want that. You want to go in with the mindset, this is going to make it. And really, even if you have periods where something isn't going right, you're going to sit there and figure it out. You're going to figure out every little thing. You want to make it, because if you have a fear of failure, like I said, it's a waste of time going in there. And indeed, even on a job, if you think you're going to you're not going to go on a job already thinking you're going to get fired, because that could be a big problem right there. All right. So no matter what you do, you're doing anything with money, you thinking, I'm going to make money. Now, whether or not you actually make money, that's something else. There's been some stuff I've done, and I thought, oh yeah, money, but I didn't go in. Like, I'll use the example of my on-demand videos. There's some of those videos I made a lot of money on, and some of them I didn't. Even some of the videos I do right here on YouTube, some videos I think, oh yeah, this is going to be great. And they weren't. They weren't viral. But I still go in with every video thinking, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. This is going to do well, no matter what. Now, yes, I do go in with some I think will do better than others. But every single one, I say, okay, I'll get something off of this. So don't go into any business with a fear of failure. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. Y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.